when it's only love.
Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Hello. Good morning. How is everyone? Sleepy.
Good. It's working.
Everyone must be sleepy. Look, I love how a pen, please. Wow, how are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm not sleepy.
You're not
Let's
sleepy?
go.
Oh no.
Let's get it going.
She's wild. She's really wild.
That's right. Had my several cups of coffee.
Thank you. I heard this is the last month of our health and wellness.
Our last week, yes.
Our last week of the health and wellness. Yes, that's true. So, I don't know.
Have you gotten health and wellness?
I feel like there's been a lot of health and wellness going on. Yes.
You know, so how are your shimmies?
Oh, my shimmies there. I have been practicing. Yes.
Yes.
In the car, I
Did the shimmies?
and then
Well, the hip shimmy was a little interesting yesterday, learning that. So we are taking a belly dancing class.
and no, it will not be doing that live on the sofa.
No.
It will not happen.
No, though.
Never say never. No.
We know we won't be.
No.
So like that, yeah, we have choice.
Right. I mean, because some people do it to perform it, but I really am doing. I was telling my husband, I'm really just doing this literally for me.
Mhm.
Because I know women in particular store a lot of emotion and a lot of things inside their hips and in their body. And I've always been attracted to the idea of how women who belly dance and do it to perform, they love their bodies. Like they don't need their body to be all perfect to wear, you know, the outfits that they wear. They allow for that. They use it. And I've always been like, wow, if I could be that
Right. Well, the
comfortable
fact
in my own skin like that, I love that.
The fact that the dance itself puts the word belly in it,
Yes.
I'm impressed. Like you need a belly to do it. So since I do have one of those, I was happy about doing that. So this is our second time that we've done it,
Yeah.
and it is not for the weak.
No.
It is
not
hard
a
workout.
rejuvenation class.
It's a hard workout.
And I work out I work out most mornings or maybe every other morning or whatever. So I work out with weights and I walk 20 minutes and I do this whole thing. But no.
Yeah.
There's still parts I'm like, I have not worked that out because that's tight or
Because
that's
a lot of
tired.
it, right? Because a lot of it is about your hips and legs, which
Or
are
holding your arms up.
Or
like this.
the arms up like this all the time. So it's
well, not like
and
this. But,
well, no, it's
you know,
more
we
like
have this-
this, and we're trying to be coordinated too. Which
and we're trying to hold your arms up. Do the feet right. Do that like
Yeah.
it's like so much.
this time I got behind the instructor so she couldn't see me.
Oh.
So that was
that your secret?
That
trick?
was my secret trick, so she didn't point me out. We had a much larger class this time too.
I know, we had to find a space in there.
Yeah, and then so I picked the back immediately when I came in. I put my stuff away, and there was two girls sitting, so I think they were drop-ins as well. And so I picked the back. I put my water bottle back there and everything. Then Michelle came in, and we got our little spot. And then she was
I was doing a lot of it is like walk trying to make that.
And she saw me do the one thing I remember from my belly dance class from 30 years ago. I did that move, but it was the opposite of what she wanted us to do. But it was the only move I remembered, you know. So I was supposed to go backwards versus the way I was going. But anyway, it's a very fun time.
It is really interesting.
And it was about
But it's
health
work.
and wellness.
It is work. It's not easy.
It is. And then I left there and I went to a sound and Reiki thing on the other side of town.
I was jealous of that. I wanted to go to that.
So that was an hour and a half. And then back to go home and make a good meal. So, really took care of that. And this morning we will dive into closing that up to celebrating our vibrant health together.
I think we will. That's what the card says.
That's what the card says, and that's what we're going to do.
Go with it.
We're going to go with
Exactly.
whatever this card
But
tells
where
us to
we're
do.
at today,
Is a very special place known
It
as
is.
the Unleash Your Life Studios in office for the very famed and well-known Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington. It is physically located at
7220 North 16th Street
Together.
in Phoenix, Arizona,
Thank you.
between Northern and Glendale.
Right
So
next
if you're still listening, you have time to get here.
Drive on down.
Drive on
Come
down. 85020 in case we're right off the 51. We are so conveniently
We
located.
make it so easy.
We really
I'm
do.
sorry. There's no excuse.
It's so easy to get here.
If you've been looking to connect or have community, or if you've been complaining about they don't have enough spiritual things like I do, or the people that talk like that, where are you? Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
We're
build
here.
this. Let's be in here together.
Exactly.
I've got people in here who do talk like that, and they show up. They show
Yeah,
up to
right.
support, to make sure that it keeps going. That we're here every Sunday to make sure of that too. So if you want
Yeah.
a community
Come
of
on
like-minded
down.
Come
people,
on down.
you have to show up for it. You have
And
to
maybe-
be here to build
Maybe
it.
we'll teach you how to shimmy.
No, I will not be teaching.
Oh, come on. Look at it. Brings the people in.
Oh,
So,
is that what?
I
That's
don't
what we're
know.
gonna resort to.
That's what we're going to resort to.
Well, I think my God's girl.
Oh, yes.
bracelet
Our God's Girl bracelets.
that
Yes.
Jeannie got me today.
Yes.
I mean, Jeannie got me this for my birthday. I think last year.
I think it was last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm pulling out all the stops today.
There you
boys and
go.
girls. And this is a fan. If you need
There
one.
you go.
No.
I got our fans. I have extra fans
I
around
know.
too. All righty. Do you
So,
want to pray yet?
I'll pray in.
All right. Oh, you have something else you wanted to say?
I needed a drink
Oh,
of
you
water.
needed a
I knew
drink.
I was going to be praying, and I felt it coming
felt
toward
it?
me.
All
Yes,
right.
okay. Oh my goodness. Let's take a deep breath in that. Oh, coming into this moment, that breath, grounding, releasing, letting go of anything before our time together. Just let it go, let it settle. Also releasing anything coming after our time together. Just set it down for this moment. We know we can pick it up later, but for right now, we're in this moment together. We are present. We are connected as we recognize the one power, the one life, one energy, source, that divine spirit we call God. I'm reminded every time I take a deep breath of my place in all of it, my connection to all of it, how it moves in, as, and through me. It's my energy, my source. Coming into this space with that recognition, that unification of myself with the one, I recognize that as we come together, as we allow ourselves to sit and be grounded in that truth, as we allow ourselves to be present in this moment together, I allow myself, I know that we all allow ourselves to receive what is ours to receive, to take in the ideas, take in the laughter, the sharing, the joy. We allow ourselves to release anything unlike our time together, anything unlike our truth. into this space, into our time, open, with open minds, open hearts, ready to receive. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be here, to be a part of this. I'm grateful for everyone who participates, who receives, who listens now and after. Knowing that as we rest in this connection, that we receive what is ours to receive, that we use it to create a life we love. And I'm so grateful to be a part of that. So I speak my word for everyone here, everyone hearing my voice now and beyond this time. We are all truly blessed, divinely guided. I know this is true for myself, for leaders, for speakers, everywhere. I see them moving in love, moving in connection, moving in the truth of who and whose we are. And so I let it go and know and trust that it's already done in the mind of God. And together we sing.
And so it is. There you go. Send it out there.
Into the universe and beyond.
To infinity and beyond. Abby says good morning. She's watching from work.
We miss you, Abby.
We do.
We miss you, Abby.
So we celebrate my vibrant health.
That's a statement.
That is a statement. And the first thing that came to mind was gratitude. First thing that came to mind this morning as I was looking at this, because gratitude is such a celebration of where we are, what we are, who we are. You know, when I can get into gratitude for my body, that's even a bigger celebration. I look at strong legs I have now. I am hitting 8,000 steps a day plus now. So yes, right? That is really getting in the strength of my legs.
You're training them right up.
I am training them. Exactly. I am doing, a yoga challenge that is online. It's like 10 minutes of yoga in the morning plus it's called Flexible Body, Flexible Mind. And then she does like a little 2-minute thing for the day. So like to kind of ground you into whatever her word is. Ground was one of them, grounding in. Today's word, I was probably focused since I can't remember. But, you know, like, so there's a word and there's like an action to do. Actually, today's was about giving, if I remember. And so just different things to take care of my body. Drinking my water.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Miss Ann gave me a big water bottle.
Yeah.
Since she can't be with me all the time, she said.
To
she
say,
says,
drink
there's a
your
big
water.
water bottle and it says every so many ounces. It's got way to go, keep going, have some more. Like, so I can just hear her voice.
I don't remember ever being dehydrated as a child, but I guess that's because
we have the hose.
we had hose water.
We had
so
hose water, so we were fine.
apparently hose water had way more
It's got electrolytes.
It,
There's some
yeah,
stuff
it
in
kept us
there.
Vitamins
hydrated.
and minerals.
Yeah,
It wakes me up to think about what was in
Yeah.
that water.
but apparently it kept us hydrated because I didn't realize I was.
And everyone had one.
Yeah.
So wherever you were, you could just walk up to anybody's house and have some
Just-
water from
yeah.
their hose. Like, whatever.
Drink from their
You didn't have
hose.
to carry a water bottle around with you.
Yeah, that
I was on my bike.
I can't. Yeah,
Places to go.
I did have a basket, so I mean, I guess I could have
my
put
other
it
bike
in
had a
there.
basket, but no, not my
Not
going
your
through the
hubby.
field, hopping wheelie, like not that bike. That bike
Oh.
did not have a basket.
You know, I never had one of
It was
those.
sleek.
Yeah, I was a girly girl. I had a huffy
Mine was too.
with
but
little.
I had a banana seat.
No, I had.
Tassels on the handle.
I had tassels.
Mine had
I had,
tassels.
yeah, I
like
had
my
that.
tassels,
Yeah. It wasn't until I was older that I had. I remember I had a boy's bike when I was like in teenage years, and fell
Oh,
forward.
yes.
Ouch.
And it hurts whether you're a boy or a girl.
Exactly. There
It's no difference.
doesn't
I did
make
that once.
no difference. That bar is stupid. I'm
Yeah.
just
Look,
gonna
what's
say
the bar
it.
there?
Look, what's a bar there? Like what? and I have a oh no, it's not that scar.
It was
It's
a
this
reason.
scar. It's this scar where I went over the bike hand because I didn't wear helmets either. I didn't wear a
We
helmet.
didn't wear helmets. Nobody wore helmets.
Yeah, and I was on
The
a
ground
long,
was softer then.
I was on a 20-mile bike ride and have a scar on the bottom of my chin from like going over and probably had a concussion. Who knows? Anyway, I
It's so funny, the
digress.
things that we did as kids, I would never let my kids do. Like, you cannot ride a bike without a helmet on. You may not drink out the water hose. You may not be out
'Cause now
in
we
the
know.
field behind our house popping wheelies with all your friends. You
Yeah.
may not be there. No.
No, you just can't do those
Like,
things.
No, you can't do what I did.
You
Yeah,
cannot.
exactly.
It's
You know
just-
why? Because you'll have to have replacement parts if you do. Okay, so I'm just going to say that. I did not take care of my body in my youth, and that's why there's replacement parts now. But I am taking care of my body now. And I am celebrating that because I'm a religious science practitioner who believes that my mind and body are connected. And the things I say are manifested in my body. And trust me, the words that come out of my mouth are not always good. So I have to pay really close attention to the things I claim for myself. I have claimed diseases for myself and I know better. So separating myself out from them as knowing, and I love this. I read this morning about how Ernest Holmes has, taught that the creative mind, right, that is all present. So if, as an example, we are all sitting here in our own space in air, right? So if we were in a house, right, it's all the same air in that house, but if you're baking cookies in the kitchen, the air in there's a little better, okay, than say the bathroom. All right, I'm just going to be honest. The cookies are better than there. So when we think about the collective consciousness that we have, sometimes we have bathroom thoughts. You need a practitioner to bring you on over to the cookie thoughts. Okay?
Come into the kitchen, people.
Come into the
Bring it
kitchen,
on.
people.
Kitchen.
With the better atmosphere. So when I thought about that and moving from my crappy thoughts, no pun intended, over to the sweetness of life and knowing that changes everything. But it's a constant thing. You have to stay here in that part of the divine mind, knowing that you're whole, perfect, and complete.
Right.
Regardless of how it shows up sometimes.
Exactly. And I sent you a reel the other day with a gentleman that said, basically, I wish I could just play it for you. You did such a good job. I'm going to just paraphrase it. But he basically said that why do we notice all the bad things? Why do we notice all the bad stuff going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then he sits for a minute so you can think about it. Why do I always notice all the bad stuff? And then he says, because the good stuff's everywhere. So much everywhere that it becomes like white noise. You don't even notice it anymore. And then right when he said that, birds started chirping. He goes, like, for example, the birds chirping right there. And that's one of I remember being pregnant with the twins and sleeping in the mornings, hoping to sleep past morning sickness, and laying there and the birds, there's so many birds in my yard. And I can't remember the last time I thought about that. I sat out there and just listened to them sing and, talk to each other, whatever they're doing when they do that. But, the good stuff's everywhere. Everywhere. So much that we have forgotten to look at it. And so the bad stuff just pokes out. We notice the bad stuff. Just like we say, you could have a great day and get 10 minutes of something bad. Now your whole day's shot. When the whole rest of the day was good, but you want to focus on the 10 minutes of bad, is whatever. But it's the same thinking in my mind that, when the good stuff's everywhere, still the same thing with my body. I've got cells that operate without me, that are continuously working and improving and trying to, keep me healthy. And they see something's wrong, they move over there and they fix that. And my whole body's constantly, I hear this growing out of my head. I don't do this. It's just growing. And I've got nails, all these things. Look at your body. This is incredible that this is what we are walking around in, like that we can feel. I can feel now. Some people have lost some of these abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they don't have, but I have that. Why am I not looking at that and being grateful for that? Why am I instead looking at how my skin's sagging right here and I'm worried about that? Why am I doing that? What am I, and then when I do that, what am I causing more of? I'm causing more of whatever I'm focusing on. So I'm focusing on, oh, look at
Just
all.
like a portal.
And that's all I
into
see.
box.
Right. That's all I'm seeing. That I'm not seeing like when I go to, so when we're belly dancing, I'm looking at myself and because you got to look at yourself to make
Yeah, it's a whole mirrored wall.
You're working your butt off to try to move in this way. And I try to say to myself, wow, that's your body. That is the body that you're using. Am I this body? No. I am not this body.
No more than your car or your house.
Right. I am not this thing. So like when some people say, well, I can't. No, you don't have that. You are experiencing that. You're experiencing it. I'm experiencing through this body. I am not this body. This lyric, I got a microphone hand here. So when I leave this planet, this body stays here. This is not me. Go ahead, Ann.
One thing I think about in terms of aging is that all those changes in our bodies. And I remember thinking, oh my God, all these old people talk about is their ailments.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm reaching that stage, one of the things that I'm realizing, it's not so much complaining about your ailments, it's this shock and that your body is betraying you as it, gives up one piece after another. And so it's more about trying to remember that aging is part of the natural process and trying to embrace those aspects of it that I'm not crazy about, but I gotta love on it. I can't be lost in because it's just gonna keep happening.
Well, and then you could think like, what's the alternative if I'm not aging?
Right. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
so instead of, and I agree with you, we can easily do that. It's so easy because the world talks like that, right? Everything is about that beauty, whatever. So we can get caught up in like, oh, this and oh, that, whatever, instead of saying, hey man, I'm grateful I'm still here. A lot of people didn't get to have this edge of life. A lot of people didn't get,
and I still dance.
How many people did not get the opportunity to age, to go through their ailments, to have that part of life? How many people, did not get that experience? My mom died at 67. She did not get to have that experience. So I just kind of feel like, it's what you're saying. It's so much in our mind. It's so much in our mindset. And what are you choosing to look at? The little bits of thing that we would label bad, are they really bad? Are we just labeling them bad? Or do we look at like how much good we actually have and try to focus on that more and we got to deal with stuff. I mean, stuff happens. Some of it's our own creation. We go, okay, didn't really like that I created that, so I'm going to deal with it and I'm going to create something different. I'm going to focus some other way. But, that's a lot of what is coming through with that.
So I also had an experience watching myself in the mirror. And like I said, our first class, there was 4 of us and Michelle and I were half. So that was a little different than yesterday's class where I think there was like 10? There was like 10 or 12. We were a decent size. We took up
trying to find space to see yourself in the mirror was struggling.
And I wore shorts yesterday, and not my regular length shorts, which are usually to my knee. I wore booty shorts. Not really. They were a little longer than booty, but I wore shorts, and in doing that, I could see my thighs. My thighs are not as strong as they will be at this point. So there is some, cottage cheese happening, right? Like, so there are some things that I was also focused on when I was like, oh, look at those legs. And then the thing that came to me is, look at those legs. 3 months ago, you could not do what you're doing today. I couldn't do warrior pose. I couldn't do downward dog. Like, a lot of my yoga poses now I can do. My legs are not at the level that they will be, but they're so much better than they were. And I have such gratitude, and I see as temperature starts to drop, I see myself hiking again. I know that will happen. Of course, I'll start with a smaller place like Dreamy
Don't get
Draw.
crazy.
Yeah, I won't be like, 7th Street Mountain or whatever yet. But yeah, I will,
Right.
because I see that happening, and I know that and it's small steps, I'm not immediately doing these things, but I am trying.
The body doesn't really heal overnight, and we forget that. I think people want everything right now, so
Yeah.
they don't allow the body its time to process and to do what it does. But when we're looking at our body, we're upset about things about our body, but we don't take any accountability for it. Like I think about things like if I don't like there's certain moves where I can feel my whole backside and my whole legs jiggle the whole time. I'm like, oh, but then my head's like, yeah. So what have you been doing about it? So what's your body supposed to do?
Right. It's
What's
only
my body
it's
supposed
only
to be like if I haven't done what it needs me to do? So I upped my hamstring exercises at the gym because I need to fill that out. I don't have a lot of hamstrings, right? So I'm not mad at my body for being whatever it is.
Notice what needs to be
just
done.
notice her. Like, oh my God, it's doing everything. It does everything.
Doing
it's
everything.
breathing, it's feeding, it's selling, it's doing everything. My God, leave it alone already. Just be graceful to it. Be thankful for it. Like, thank you so much for waking me up every morning and doing what you do without me even knowing. Like, thank you, because the way that we think, the body you don't think the body doesn't hear that, doesn't feel that, doesn't know that, doesn't respond to that.
Right.
And that's not even the stuff we say to our bodies. When we're being mean to ourselves, saying whatever we say, but even it responds to how we see the world and how bad all this is, and how the body's like, oh God, it's woo, So like even with I think I already said this, or I said it earlier. I don't remember when I said it, but anyway, the women holding the emotions in this area of our bodies.
We were talking about that. Yes.
Okay, and wanting to release that, and they say like certain exercises when you're working on this area to release that, you'll start crying because you've held stuff in here. That's your body. That's your body doing all that. Like, gosh, so like
Protecting you.
Yes. So it's time to stop downgrading, shaming, being upset about. It's time to celebrate.
Right.
Celebrate.
Time to celebrate, because there's so much about our body. We don't have to just point out the things we don't like. Start pointing out the things you do like.
How would you feel if someone walked around and pointed out all your bad stuff all the time? Like,
Right?
you don't
Oh,
like
I
that.
wouldn't feel very
Why are you
good.
doing
That's
it
for
to
sure.
yourself?
I've got someone like that. She lives in my head.
Yeah. Tell her to stop.
Right. I already have one. I don't need
Knock
another.
it
Exactly.
Knock it off. Yeah. So it's just it's having a lot of grace and having a lot of love and allowing and dealing. If you don't like something, then do something about it.
Right.
If you can't, like I was telling my husband, like I when I put my legs out in front of me, I want to touch my toes. I've wanted to do that for a long time, and I'm so tight here from wearing heels for so long, and a lot of my career being sitting down, that this whatever tendon that runs up the back of your legs, if that's the correct word for it, is so tight that I don't have a lot of stretch there. So it's like that needs to be something to work on. Why am I mad? Why would I be mad about that?
We're
Right.
silly.
It's silly that we do that. So
Right.
No,
Yeah.
how about you do something about it? If you don't like it,
Right.
do something.
And then don't expect it to be immediate, overnight.
Something.
I mean, I'm not saying that it can't be. Miracles happen
They
all
can
the
happen,
time.
yes.
Your attachment to the way it is can shift in an instant.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. And you will feel good doing something about it. But celebrate. Like, look at yourself in the mirror and celebrate that you're still here, that your body is still doing what it does, all the work it does, and then be a partner with it. If there is something that you would like to change, then work with it to change it. Instead of being like,
Right.
there's no, stop it. Not doing it anymore. Knock it off.
That's right.
So we want a celebration.
we want to celebrate.
And I don't mean like having a bunch of sugar and candy, even though I would love to celebrate like that with my body. And my taste buds like that, but no.
Right.
We're gonna just celebrate.
Sweetness of life.
I know.
That's
I
right.
love to
Celebrate
celebrate
with
like
the
that. But
sweetness of life.
you're watching our sugars right now.
The funny thing, I was thinking about this morning, how we were talking last week about that, and how somebody said about, there are some people who just say, I think you were saying it, that just say, this is all good for me, or whatever like that. Unfortunately, I've been educated, and I know better. And I know what's not good for me. I can't convince I can't convince myself about non-truth, right? That's not how my brain works. So knowing and affirming the truth of the perfection, that, like, I know we were born whole, perfect, and complete, regardless of appearance.
Right.
So knowing that, that's the celebration. Even if my thighs jiggle, even if,
But we're not talking about your body.
No, exactly.
We're not talking about your
Talking
body being
about
whole, perfect. Your
Your spirit being whole, perfect, and
So whatever
complete.
vessel you're using is your vessel that you're
Right.
using to
This
be here.
is something different. So the alignment that we're talking about is our spiritual alignment with the perfection that is. So in the Science of Mind text, Ernest Holmes talks about, and I'm on page 206 under physical perfection. And what I was talking about earlier about the kitchen and the bathroom type of thing. The patient thinks into his own subjective mind. Yes, if you wish to designate it as his subjective mind, but his subjective mind is only his atmosphere in the one mind. So, like we were talking about, the atmosphere of the kitchen in the house. We each have our own atmosphere in the one mind that we're thinking into. That's why when you go to a practitioner who is also in the one mind, that's why it can change whether you are physically near them or not. Both the patient and the practitioner think into one common mind. Therefore, when a patient comes to a practitioner for healing, the practitioner does not try to hypnotize nor suggest anything to him. He declares the truth about the patient to the degree that the practitioner brings his own consciousness to a true recognition of perfection. Provided there is subjective receptivity in the thought of the patient, that person will be helped.
Yeah.
So, again, we need to be open to receive this body healing when we go to a practitioner of any kind. Whether it is a Science of Mind practitioner, or you have a spiritual director, or you meet in your chiropractor, you have to have a spirit of receptivity. Because, as an example, I had 4 joints replaced, all by the same doctor. Where my level of receptivity was each time was different. I had a different experience with each joint. Some I had more pain, some I had less pain, some I had no pain, right? Each time was because of where I was, both physically, strength-wise, and spiritually, where I was thinking, what I was thinking, how I was thinking, of how this would increase my good. When I had the first hip done, it was very, very painful. In my mind, what I was thinking at that time was, I have 3 more to go. When I had my first knee done, there was no pain afterwards, because the person, my nurse practitioner, told me it was going to be the worst pain I ever experienced. And I told her, I think not. And I did all my exercises that they gave me and beyond. And I changed my thought process. My second hip, I did the same thing with, because I wasn't going to allow it to be like the other hip. Yeah. And then I slacked off a little with the second knee. I was like, wow, I didn't have a problem before, and I forgot to do the alignment that I had done previously. I didn't align my body with the exercises that they gave me. because it still hurt a lot prior, where it wasn't hurting as much on the right side. I wasn't aligning my thought process because I had other things I was working on. So this was going to be a vacation. That's how I looked at it. I had a very different experience each time because of where my body was physically and where my mind was, both emotionally and spiritually.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What a great takeaway from
Yeah,
that.
I had to really look at why because somebody asked me, did you have a different doctor? I was like, nothing was different. You know, I mean, I don't know on the outside part what was different or who, but in my world, nothing was different. So,
Not enough to make those
yes,
differences.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Interesting. That should be a book.
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I'm working on that book.
I mean, lots of people are getting that done. So it's
Yeah.
a good, great takeaway on
So
understanding.
there is so much to the intricacies that is us, right? That we are individually. And, you know, I think about, all right, I'm kind of a geek. I love things like Marvel and DC and that kind of stuff. And I'm a fan of the multiverse. So,
It's
In
a
the-
fan of you too.
in the multiverse, right? In the multiverse, different decisions take you different places, right? And I think about that. Like, there are decisions that can take me on a road one direction or another. And in that, I'm also not somebody who gets all Twitter-pated about that. Like, I'm a quick decision maker type of person. So this does not stop me and paralyze me, just so you know. But I do give it thought, you know, that this decision could bring me here and this decision could bring me here. I look at the higher purpose of either one and know that wherever I'm supposed to be, that's where I'm going to be, regardless of the decisions I make,
Yeah.
right? Because unless it's fatal, there's other decisions to make.
Right.
Right?
Totally.
So I look at that. Is this a decision that's fatal? No? All right, move on. Let's go. Let's not stay too much in this, should I keep this job, lose that job, stay with this person, divorce this person, you know, date that person, whatever your big decisions are, right? Unless it's going to take you out of your life, right?
Just try it.
Just try something.
Follow your instinct.
Follow your, you know, talk to somebody, decide already.
When have I heard that?
I know.
Yeah,
a little
little-
plug for my.
Little plug.
I hope.
Exactly. Decide already.
Would you decide already?
Exactly.
Good grief.
There's so many times that we can't make a decision that we're, you know, analysis paralysis,
Right.
that we just don't. And
Yeah.
that is what keeps you stuck. Make
I
a
know.
decision.
Move, people.
You don't
move.
have- I say that to my, you know, my people all the time. Like, you know, we can correct anything. It can be corrected.
Yeah.
If it's the wrong choice, we can correct it.
Right. And that's how you learn sometimes.
It is.
You go
Actually,
do
that's
over,
how you
and
learn a
do
lot.
over, Ann says, do over, divine do over. Yeah, as soon as you go and you recognize it's not the correct, and most successful people make quick decisions and they change course fast. They fix it fast, you know. So it's totally normal to
And I think, and I'm
okay
not,
to do that.
I'm not a boat person or anything like that. But from what I understand, you always have to do course correction with boats.
Oh yeah.
Like if not, you'll be somewhere where you're
Right,
not
you don't
supposed
just set, you don't just set it and go.
Yeah, like that's why we have steering wheels, right? Like
I mean,
we've gotta take a little
take
action.
the wheel.
Take the wheel,
Jesus.
right?
Somebody, just take it.
Right?
Seriously, yeah, and take. So when you're thinking about this thing, I celebrate my vibrant health. What wheel do you need to take in that area?
Mm-hmm.
What does vibrant health mean to you? What does that look like for you to have that?
So
Because it's there for you.
it is. So
Already
one
there.
of the things I'm going to give a suggestion. So when the word vibrant comes up, what do you think of? For me, it's color. I'm just going to say the word vibrant happens. I'm thinking color. So get a plate full of color, people, right? Get your fruits, your vegetables, like make it beautiful. Have a beautiful salad. Throw some strawberries in with your kale. Let's have lots and lots of color to our food. So that brings vibrancy to things.
Yeah, I like that. I think energy. Like I
You
think
energy.
I think energy, movement, whatever. So like get moving. Start doing something. Don't stop sitting there waiting for something else to happen. No, it's coming from inside of you. You are the decision
Right.
maker. You are the one that moves it.
And that's why I got the watch. See, look, it has a little kitty on it.
Aww.
That's why I got the watch to count my steps, because I am always like, and I'm a weirdo about it. I'm at bingo Friday night, and in between bingo games, we have like we have a cake break is what we have, and so I haven't been eating the cake. So instead, I'm walking around, I'm talking to people, and I'm getting my steps in because I want to make sure that I'm getting those steps. So I'm in competition with myself. Can I have more than yesterday? So Fridays are usually my 10,000 step days now, right? Because I'm walking. Yeah, that's a half-hour break we have. So I'm walking. I'm doing something on it. So
Yeah, so that's great. So you know you're gonna go there. You know that on Fridays you go and then they always have this cake break, but you don't want to have cake. So you make the decision of what you're gonna do instead. This is an amazing way to break a pattern. You know, you're going to a buffet, or you're going to like someone's party and you know they're gonna have food, and maybe you're watching your weight, or maybe you aren't supposed to be eating a bunch of sugar. So you change that pattern and you say to yourself, okay, when I get there, if there's a big dessert table, this is what I'm going to do instead. You make a decision before you get there, and you break this patterning that you've already been doing all this time, and now you are in control of that.
People laugh when I say this, but the experience wasn't really funny. But I mean, I was really struggling with cookie addiction. I was compulsive. I was getting up in the middle of the night. McKim was getting mad because I was eating her cookies too. But like I realized that I had to find a way to transition that to something that was healthier. So I spent some time thinking about it and just kind of checked things out at the grocery store. And I've always liked rice cakes. Most people think they taste like styrofoam, but I found out that they now have them like they're little round, so they're crispier. And there's in a couple of different flavors I really like. So I've successfully transitioned from cookies to rice cakes. Obviously, don't eat as many. Obviously, it's not as much sugar. It's not as much calories. And so that was a big success.
Nice. So you didn't just keep it going. You looked at it, got yourself another answer, and now you're doing that and see how that works. And you may say, I don't like how that's working. You make a different decision. It might be the answer. So you're trying things out. You're not just sitting there stagnant. You're not just getting upset at yourself or being mad at yourself when the scale goes up or whatever. Like, no, you make a different decision. You're the boss. This is your life. You are making the choices. And even if you're not making a choice, you're still making the choice.
right.
You either are intentionally doing it or you're doing it by default, but either way, you are doing it.
You're choosing.
You're driving this series.
You're driving this vehicle.
Exactly.
So change the pattern. If you know you have a specific pattern with something, before you get there, change it. That's like one of the, that was not my original advice. I heard that from somebody saying, like, you know, you're going to go to this party. You know that every time you go to these parties, they always have a bunch of food or they always have something there that you don't want to be doing. Change the pattern. What am I going to do when I see it? Or when so-and-so says, here, let me give you a piece of cake. What are you going to say? What?
Right.
Get ready for it. Don't let it just get there and you're like, okay. You know, change your patterning on that. I think that's a huge change of what you're going to do. And I had another thing, but I forgot. I'll write it down.
Okay.
It's just sitting
When it comes back to
It's sitting there. Yeah.
So one of the things that came up in my reading this morning was that thought plus action demonstrates faith, right? So there's where our manifestation happens, right? We had a thought, Like Anne had a thought, okay, I don't want to eat so many cookies, right? So what can I do instead? And I'm that person. Mine wasn't cookies, mine was chocolate, and I would eat Dakota's chocolate because it would take her too long.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Who lets chocolate stay in the refrigerator for more than a day? My partner, not me. So and I would wake up in the middle of the night and need something sweet. So now what's in there, in case, which will still send my sugars high when I test in the morning, but I will have Greek yogurt. So I'll have a Greek yogurt if I wake up in the middle of the night and just can't not do it. Most of the time I can not do it. And, but it's the thought. It's the first thought that comes up. And if I start feeding that thought, literally feeding it, or even if I'm laying there in bed, I really want that Greek yogurt, or I want that whatever. And then it's like, either I can do it or I can't. And then now I have something that's a little bit better. It'll, like I said, still sends my sugars up in the morning, but it's not chocolate. So here I'm doing better, and I have a demonstration of that. Generally, when I'm craving something sweet, I know that really I'm thirsty. That if I drink something, if I drink my water or drink my tea, my herbal tea or whatever, I'll be fine. I don't need that whatever I'm thinking I need, So that's helping me to stay away from what I have found to be something that's really hard for me. And because I'm always learning about this body I'm in, and I talked about last week about the knees not being able to move forward. Well, the sugars are about not seeing the sweetness in life. So there was a turnaround that I had to look at. Like, was I always concentrating on my problems that needed to be fixed? And that's why sweet stuff became my comfort food, right? Like everybody has a different comfort food type of thing. And mine was definitely, if there was a problem, could I have ice cream, right?
I like ice cream.
If there was, I think I got away from cake when I baked cakes more so, but like even when I was baking cakes all the time, there was always something I had to taste and I had to trim so there was extra cake, so I couldn't just throw it away or make cake pops. I had to eat it. So there were things to do on that, and then realizing that there are so many other sweet things in life that I can focus on, like a sunrise or a sunset or the flowers, versus trying to sweeten my life with sugared advantages or whatever, that's been where I'm looking at.
Yeah, I love that. And sugar can definitely can be an addiction too. It bites you in a couple ways. And I read recently about changing an addictive behavior, like the bowl of ice water, because it triggers
Parasympathetic.
Thank you. It triggers that, and it shifts that switch of the craving for whatever it is. So if you get the ice water and you dunk your face in that, and it does great things for the skin on your face too. So it's also other beneficials, and with the drainage.
The ice cream is in the same area as the ice cube. I just want to say that's not going to help me any.
So that one, I think that makes a lot of sense, to just completely break a pattern. You're trying to break the brain constantly talking to you about whatever it is that it wants. Like
Trying to break the brain. My brain's broke.
Yeah, so you're trying to break the cycle. Yeah. The cycle of the brain wanting it to the point where it's relentless, and you succumb to it and you go get it. So that I thought made a lot of sense. The second thing that I've done since I can remember, the first time I had my own place, I think I was like 19 years old when I moved out and had my own place, and I had control of what food was in the house. And I learned very quickly that if I didn't have it in the house, my trigger for sweets is being tired. So I was also too tired to go get it. I wouldn't go get it, especially for it. And when I grew up, my mom had a lot of sweets in the house. Oftentimes my dad would be out And when we knew he was coming home, we'd say, hey, you know, you need to go to the store and pick us up, whatever. And he would feel so guilty because he'd been out that he would say, sure, what do you guys want? And all three of us would pick something. So you've got ice cream, ding dong donut things or whatever. My mother loved them and whatever else. And he'd bring it all home. And then we were all eating this crap, you know? And so I learned that if I didn't have it in the house, I wasn't gonna, there's nothing to partake.
Right.
I couldn't have it.
It's like
And
they
I
say, don't
wasn't
grocery
gonna go
shop
get it.
hungry.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Don't grocery shop hungry.
Yeah.
So think about the things that do trigger you, that you want in the night, whatever those are. Just don't let that come into your sacred home. Clean your house out of that. Don't let that come into your space, the space around you, at work or wherever. And like it does, like when I was married to my second husband, he used to bring home ice cream a lot. He'd like to have, and I'd say, I don't want that in the house. Why? What's wrong? Because I don't have
no
willpower
control.
against that, and I will eat that. My head, my mind knows it's there, and I will eat that. And so that was a problem that we had because he didn't have that problem. He liked having ice cream in the house when he wanted it, and I didn't want that. I had gotten used to not buying stuff for myself.
Get them a cooler with a lock on it.
Yeah,
There you go,
Get
right?
your own, get your own food. So this husband, my current husband, we both are like, nope, just don't bring, like we're good with that. But that's something I learned about myself. Just don't bring it into my, make your home your sacred space and where you're safe from those things, and just change patterns, whatever you can do. You know there's going to be cake and you don't want to take the cake. Actually, this is the time I walk. I actually don't sit down and eat wherever I'm actually up moving.
Yeah, and that's what I
Doing
did
something
because it was
else.
red velvet cake, and I really love red velvet cake.
That's painful.
It was, so I just got up.
Yeah.
Like I just got up and I
Get
left.
out of the-
I
get
actually
out of it.
left the building this
Good
time.
idea,
Normally I just
smart.
walk around talking to people, but I actually left the building because I didn't want to do it. And
Yeah,
there's
that's
always that
smart.
point. I'm a good addict, right? Like I am not an addict who can just have one chip, one cookie, one, cigarette, one drink. I cannot just have one. That's my motto. So have none.
Yes.
I have to
Good start.
be a no. So I have to be a no, because if I say, well, let me just have a taste, that's it. I'll be off and running. I'll have now that might not be forever when it comes to sweets, but right now it is. Right now that's where I'm at on it, because I am trying to change that behavioral pattern for myself, that's not something I reach for when I'm emotionally triggered. If it's something where I'm just enjoying it, and right now I will lie to myself, I promise you.
Yeah.
I will lie to me and say, oh no, you just want to enjoy it. No, I don't. No, I want it. Yeah, I want it because I want to change the way I feel.
Yeah.
So now I have to know that and move forward with that in my
Go
mind.
dunk your face in the thing of ice water.
Go dunk my face in ice water.
I think that's just genius. Like
That is good.
because it makes you gas. So you just
Yeah.
change your whole system. I'm like, okay.
It's got some good polarity exercises for you too.
Yeah,
There
there
you
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 go.
can post online.
Oh,
All right,
nice.
yes,
Let's do that.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I love all that.
Fine, as we're saying it.
Impression.
Abby says not having instant results is the hard part.
It is hard.
And then she made this little monster face emoji.
Oh,
which was
no.
pretty funny. I love that, Abby. And that's true, right? Not having instant results, right?
Yeah, we're kind of
Like-
spoiled thinking it should be like
That everything should be instant.
Right.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it's not.
I
I'm sorry,
agree.
people.
Yeah.
It took a while to get there. It's gonna take a while to.
But you know
Some
what?
mistakes.
Either way, time passes.
It
My
does.
daughter and I were just talking about this, right? So, like, you say to yourself, oh, but I'll be 60, 70, 80 years old by the time the time's going to pass.
It's gonna, yeah.
It's going to happen
And then
either
you'll be
way.
like, dang it.
So either make
didn't
this,
start
Yeah.
that.
the best time to make a change was 20 years ago. The next best time is today.
Yeah, let's get going.
There you go.
What change do you want to make? What thing is coming into your mind right now? Is something popping up right now? Like, hey, here's a thing. Here's a thing for me. Do it. Write it down. Figure out like Andy, like what? Okay, so here's things I want to make. What am I going to do about it? Don't just go, yeah, I want to make these changes.
So
what
for
are you going
me,
to do about it?
So for me, I do have one. I thought about it this morning. With my legs not being at the level of strength that my knees and hips now are, that I'm going to add in the bike because
Nice.
that I can do in the morning while I'm playing online. It's not like I have to give up my, let's look at my email, let's look at Facebook. Like, I don't have to give anything up. I'm just going to get on the bike and do it.
Yeah, there you go.
And that way I can
And
build
makes
up
time
the strength.
pass too.
Yeah.
When you're on the bike.
Yeah.
So it's more
So
boring
there's
than
something to do.
cardio.
Yeah.
Cardio is very boring.
It can be.
I know.
Yes.
But I pull up an episode of something I'm watching and I just,
Right.
and next thing you know, I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, look at the time.
Yeah. There you go.
What's that?
Time passes. When you get in the flow, time passes.
That's
So
good. Yeah.
yeah, just adding something to, that's another thing that, because we're going off of this topic, so you got to get all the wisdom and knowledge right now, because next month it's a whole new topic. The thing that, to add to your life versus subtract, right?
Yes.
You added something so that you didn't notice the disappearance of something, right? So I'm going to add something to my life versus subtracting. I added walking versus eating cake, right? So we're to remember the addition versus the subtraction, because I think when we subtract things without an addition, we feel deprived. And I don't want to be deprived in my life. I believe in a lovely, juicy, amazing life. So I don't want to be deprived. So I'm not going to remove, I'm going to add.
I love it. Add, but make those decisions now.
Yeah.
Whatever's coming up for you, whatever you're thinking about, those are your things. Add to them, and then, add something to them that you can do right now. Don't just wait on this. Go ahead.
You talk about deprivation, and it brought up a really strong memory for me. In 2002, I had a gastric bypass. I gained a whole lot of weight. Turned out I'd been treated for the wrong thing. I mean, certainly every Americans overeat, so that was certainly a part of it, but that wasn't the main driving factor. So when I went through there's like a support group that you go through, you have to go through psychological testing and everything. And my doctor said to me, you're going to be successful, because everybody else is saying, oh, I can't have cookies, I can't have. And I was saying, oh, I can have shrimp. Oh, I can have tuna. And she said, just the fact that everybody else was coming from a place of deprivation because their main issue was overeating.
Yeah.
My main was bad doctoring.
Right.
And it made all the difference in the world. So I would figure out what it was that I could eat, and I would celebrate. Like if I'm out eating with people, I have to be really careful because I get to talking, and if I eat too much, then I'm in a bad way. But that whole thing about the deprivation really made a difference in my mindset as I went through the process.
Nice.
They thought I was losing weight too fast. I just know my body was ready to release it.
Yes.
Right. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I love that.
Nice.
Yeah. Perfect.
I feel good.
I feel good. Do we feel complete?
Amazing discussion today.
Yay.
Yay.
I love that.
You ready to pray
Yes,
us out?
I will pray us out. I do.
All right, let's do it.
So in this space, this tender space of knowing and affirming of the perfection that is our spirit, that is God, that is life in form as us. And with this, I know and affirm that each of us received exactly what we needed in this time and space. So I speak my word, knowing and blessing that this time together, that the nuggets we got, we go forth with, and know and affirm the choices that we make in our life are additions and not deprivation. We are blessed. We are guided, guarded, and protected. And in this truth, I give great thanks. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe. And I let it go, and I call it good. And together we say, and so it is. All right.
Love it.
Woo woo.
So how can we support you?
Wow.
Wow.
There you
There
go.
are a few ways. There are a few ways. Number one,
Cookies.
cookies. We would.
I'm kidding.
No, we're just. We have our in-house.
That's
baker.
not
Yeah,
funny.
that's right. We do have an in-house in-house bakers.
We have
So if you
Lyrics
want
Littles,
cookies,
so-
we have little
Yeah.
Lyrics Littles.
Yeah,
It's
so-
just a little cookie.
We're good with the cookies. We're good with the cookies. No, but look, seriously, if like you're getting fed by us, if you are receiving it's inspiration, this is a great place to be. We would love for you to visit us in person if you're local. We'd love for you to continue to be online. Share it with your friends. Let's get visitors. Let's let more people know that we're here. That's a great way to help what we are doing, help our cause about building this community of Sofa Sundays and Begin Within Ministries. And other ways would be
Well, if you're watching us on Instagram or YouTube or our Facebook group, like and subscribe, join us, make comments, be part of the community online. And if you would like to give financially, which I know you do,
which really helps us.
which really helps us as well, please go to beginwithinministries.com and you can make a one-time donation or you can join as a spiritual church club partner for $45 a month, which is such a deal.
It's a deal.
It's a deal. Or $75 for a couple or family. So that is a couple of the ways that you can support us here at Begin Within.
And if you're a tither, that's like, we wanted to make it the tithing reasonable for everybody, so you don't feel pressure or whatever.
Right.
But that way you can also tithe to more than one place. That's the support we felt like would be supportive for us financially, for everyone involved. And then we can afford to help or share things with you for free. Included in that membership, so our partnership. So yeah, so be with us, support us, whatever you're called to do. We appreciate you being here with us today, as every Sunday. We love everybody being in the house.
Yes.
You don't get hugs online.
You don't get hugs online,
You're
so
here, you
but
get
we
them,
do
so
appreciate you
in person.
being online, especially if you have to work. We love you, Abby. And next month, our theme is harmony and peace.
Woo, some harmony.
So
and peace
there you
going on.
go, harmony and peace next month. So that's pretty
I think
impressive.
that's good.
We'll
Go
see.
from health and wellness to harmony and peace.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for being here. We'll see
And
you
we'll
next
see you next week.
time. Where is
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.